On November 17th, 2021, the nations of Joelandia, Marino Stan, and Scotland, with two T's, met on the battlefield of Risk. The nations fought each other with the intention of global domination. The battles were fought by valiant soldiers. These are their stories.
War will change a man. I've seen things you wouldn't believe out there. I've seen a bunch of plastic dudes going to battle on a tabletop. I've seen Scott roll 3 6s in a row.
Hello, representative from Marino Stan here. This war has gone on too long. About an hour and a half already. I just want to be the Europe man, and it seems I'll never be the Europe man.
I'm a representative from the nation of Scotland, but this one's with two T's. The battle for Europe has been ceaseless. Losses on all sides, but I will take Great Britain back from Marino Stan. I will.
It's looking rough out there, I gotta be honest. I think the only way for the nation of Joelandia to win is for me to do a classic, grab the board, and turn it the other way. That way the nations of Marino Stan and Scotland will be none the wiser.
Representative from Marino Stan here again. The bloodshed is immense. The nation of Scotland, with two T's, must be cheating. There's no other way. They're breaking every single rule that's been put in place. I feel there's no end in sight, and I feel like the end for me is grim. I can't hold on Europe. I can't hold on anything. The end is near.
Finally, a sweeping victory for Scotland. Scotland with two T's, of course. Not a complete domination of the world, but the nations of Joelandia and Marino Stan finally waved their white flags. Victory!
Hey, this week on Don't Wake Daddy, we're playing Risk. Welcome to Don't Wake Daddy, a podcast where 330-somethings play nostalgic children's board games. I'm Joe Rodriguez.
I'm Scott Eikenberry.
And I'm Marino Elajakis.
Hey, you boys.
Us boys. How we doing in
boys.
this game?
What's going on?
Nothing much, baby. What's going on with y'all?
Dude, wouldn't you believe it? Doing a podcast record.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing it again. We're bringing the content to you guys. We're laying it at your feet. And asking for money.
Yeah, we could hand it to you, but we're just laying it at your feet.
We're placing it at your feet.
And begging.
In supplication and asking you for...
Somebody's been doing some reading on reading Russian literature since the last episode,
no.
I think.
I've been...
I feel like when you're laying something at someone's feet... You're like, and this would fit what we do, is you're asking for forgiveness and you're saying sorry, because that's what...
I think we gotta bring this one with an apologetic heart. I'm sorry for lots of things.
Listeners, I'm so sorry.
What are you sorry about?
Yeah.
Anyway, so what y'all been up to?
Bro, I want to know about your week because, okay, so I'll preface it a little bit. Last weekend, we had a little party at the new house.
It was Halloween.
We had a good time. It was fun to have everybody over. It was pretty much just the tight friend group.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just hanging out, having a good time, throwing back some brewskis.
Yeah.
Playing a few games. I think we only played one game, didn't we?
We did play
just
one game. Just one.
Yeah, just one. We played one.
And that game was just one.
Yeah, that's a fun party game.
It's a fun game.
I could break that out.
I love that game.
For every party. But, yes, it was a rager. You know, we're going to It was honestly the latest I've stayed up in probably more than a decade.
Really? No way,
dude,
Scott.
More than a decade?
No way, dude.
I have not seen 4 o'clock come and go.
Scott and I were up till 4 a.m.
Yeah, we were up pretty late. We were just chatting.
Chatting it up, man.
And I got forced out of the house?
I kicked your ass out.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
had
knew,
to go.
okay, first of all, I did it out of love.
Yeah.
Did you
because
kick
I
him out of
knew-
the party?
I don't
kicked him
remember.
out.
I don't
No,
remember.
I don't remember.
I
don't remember
anything.
a lot about it.
It was like coming around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
I do remember around 3 o'clock. Like, man, I was coming from a church function.
Yes.
And, came in, and in my mind, I think I said it when I walked into the party, I was like, I'm here to overconsume alcohol, please.
Yep.
Like, it felt like it'd been a while since we hung out and partied and drank, and I was like, I'm here to just overindulge and piss
night
Don
away.
Yell off and the night away. But I'm just here to piss people off and just get as drunk as I can with my boys.
Certainly.
And
that happened.
That happened.
One thing. Okay, I don't remember much about that night. Admittedly, I do remember like going through all of your rooms in your house, your new house, Scott.
Yeah.
The first time, not the first time you had people over, but the first time that it's furnished and you had people over. And I think it's probably because I'm sure we're adults now, but also it's your brand new house. I'm like, nothing got broken this party. It was not a destructive party. Like,
I'm kind of disappointed. You know what?
Every time we have a party, it's usually
let's run it back this
Let's
weekend.
run it back.
Let's find
I'm going for the PC this time, bitch.
some shit breaks.
Break that shit.
Like
Come on.
Luke's in a crawl space or something.
Yeah. Oh boy.
No, Luke's grown now.
Luke's grown. Also at the party, Luke asked us to be his groomsman.
Yes, dude, that's super exciting.
Dude,
he actually left his bottle opener at my place. I
Did
had
he
to
really?
get his bottle opener back, but he gave us really cool. Like he burned, he had wood and he like charred it.
Yeah.
Made us all little bottle openers to ask us to be groomsmen. That was really sweet.
it was really nice. It was really nice.
So looking forward to that, bro. Summer of 2022. It's the summer of weddings, baby.
Dude.
Yeah, this at least I think I got 3 weddings on the docket for that, and it's all like close friend. Like one is me.
Yeah, right.
One is my
Consider
own.
yourself a friend?
I consider myself a friend.
That's good.
Sometimes, not really. Actually, sometimes I hate myself.
Hey, you sound like lit. Am I right?
He's his own worst enemy.
Hell yeah. But yeah, like you were saying, you kick my ass out on a love at like 3 o'clock because the next morning I woke up like 3 hours later to a rude call from my brother because I was going to the Bears game the next day.
The Bears.
And I had to drive my brother and his brother-in-law. We were all going together, and then they were from there getting on an airplane from the game. So they needed a ride down to the city, but I was also going to the game.
Yeah.
And it was just the most tired morning. I think I was still drunk in the car.
It's probably not a great thing to say on the podcast.
No, I didn't drunk drive. I felt okay. The fact that I wasn't hungover made me scared that I was still drunk or something. It was just weird. I felt okay driving in city traffic. The game was crazy. I dressed as a hot dog because it was on Halloween Day.
Yeah.
It was Halloween Day.
Were you the only person dressed up?
No, tons of people dressed up.
Okay.
Not many walking in, but then I realized as we got in, there was tons of people dressed up. But my brother knows someone who has really good season tickets right by the tunnel where the Bears come out, and it's really cool. And if you watch Bears games, there's the man with the bear arms, and he has like the crazy makeup. He's always on TV. Anytime the Bears are home, this man is always on TV. He never isn't on TV, and you can just see him from those seats. It's so weird. He's just right there. It's like, that's the guy from TV since I was a kid. He wears like bear arms and he wears like football pads and like he has like makeup done and he wears like a bear head on his head. If you watch a Bears game and it's a home game, they always cut to him at some point in the broadcast.
Yeah.
But you can like see him and it's like, that's so weird. Like these tickets are so good.
That's cool.
But the Bears lost and it was super disappointing and it made me very sad.
You guys I'd never watched football. I think football is the most boring sport ever.
Sure.
I watched a little bit of the first half and absolutely fell asleep for the next like 3 hours. Because we were having a party the night before and I was very tired. But even if I wasn't, I definitely would have fallen asleep.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty competitive game in the first half.
Yeah, and the first half was nice.
The
Bears were leading for most of the first half too.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it, and I watched because I was trying to catch a glimpse with you, and I thought there were a couple times where I might have seen you.
Is that a glizzy in the
mean,
crowd?
if they were to show a player walking into the tunnel, anytime one of the guys was injured walking into the tunnel, I would lean over a little bit. 'Cause I took the seat right next to the tunnel too.
Right.
But it's crazy because people who sit next to the tunnel are also like, "Hey, Jackson, you're doing great!" Oh, they're yelling down there, and I'm literally just like in a hot dog costume, and I'm not the person to yell at players or anything like that. Just smiling, just like that's the player I like.
Come on, Jackson.
Have you seen that video or GIF? It's like a 10-year-old like kid with glasses, and he's at a basketball game. He's right over the tunnel, and the basketball team's walking into the tunnel, presumably after the game.
Yeah.
And he's like putting his hand out for high fives.
Yeah.
And every single one of them walks by him and ignores him, and he does it. He's just like, it's the
Bro,
funniest,
that's how it goes.
The funniest shit ever, dude.
There was these like we were letting kids because kids would come if they sat in that section. They'd come by the tunnel because kids get stuff from the players.
Yeah,
this
catch
kid
a jersey, shoes.
This kid kept coming around, and we let him just go there. I let him like get next to the tunnel instead of me all the time. Fucking I said Jackson, Eddie Jackson, one of the safeties on the Bears, he got injured during the game, and he went into the locker room all pissed off, came out pissed off with a towel on his head. I was like, well, this is terrible demeanor, but I'm not going to get into football shit right now.
Yeah.
But he came out, he took his gloves off, which totally meant that he was going to be out of the game, and threw them at this kid. The kid got 2 fucking gloves.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's
and
exciting.
like a lot of the players will come out and like high five if they can, but most of them are like in like game mode.
Trying to get
They're not
inside.
high fiving nobody. They ignore anyone who talks by the tunnel because actually by the tunnel is a no drinking section.
Really?
They don't allow
Oh.
drinking near the tunnel because
makes sense.
people get
Probably throw
belligerent.
people.
Yeah.
I think I said this. Some of the worst shit I've ever heard as a football fan was when I went to this game a few years ago. Had those same seats, and it was our coaches last year, and we were doing terrible, and people just yelling just profanities at the fucking
I
coach.
bet.
And it made me feel terrible. I was like, don't call him a dickhead to his face. Like it made me feel absolutely horrible, man.
Yeah, people just, I mean, especially, I don't know. I've never been to an NFL game. I would love to go,
Mm-hmm.
and that sounds like a cool atmosphere, but it can definitely turn toxic,
Dude.
real quick. And then it just, especially when people are like going crazy drinking and stuff, it could just like flip a
Chicago
switch.
sports is just so it's so toxic. Like you're completely just taking a risk by going like to any Chicago sport event because sports fans are just so fucking toxic.
Well, remember when we went to the Cubs, the World Series, and the Cubs won, and we went to Wrigley, and they weren't even playing home.
Yes.
And obviously Triumph the Insult Comic Dog was there. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
What's his name? Fuck.
Rob
Schmeigel.
Rob Schmeigel.
Yes. But that was like a friggin' like madhouse, and people were tearing down street signs or street lights rather. They were like climbing up poles and like literally those street lights. They're a lot bigger than when they're like at eye level.
Yeah. Like I remember we were there and we were trying to just having a good time. Like we were just there with Cubs fans at Wrigley Field. They weren't even playing at home, like Joe said, and we're just there. Like everyone's following on their phone basically, and it just turned into like straight up riot mob mentality. I just remember turning to everyone being like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And like, we booked it out of there. It was, like I said, it's risky.
I mean, that is pretty
risky.
risky. But I feel like that happens in every town.
Yeah.
You know,
But Chicago is a bad one.
But I mean, like, you know, win the World Series, win the Stanley Cup, and everybody's like risky behavior.
It
all
is
over the
risky.
place.
Dude.
Speaking of risk, I was drinking Brisk the other day.
Brisk?
You guys like
Brisk,
iced tea?
baby. Dude, I love iced tea.
I love iced tea.
I-
Speaking of brisk, we played Risk.
We played Risk. Yes. So Risk. What a game. I'm just going to start with that.
A game of global.
A game of global domination.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think most people know Risk.
Yeah.
It's at least, if you haven't played it, you've heard of it.
It's in the.
It's in the zeitgeist.
There we go.
There it is,
You're trying to
baby.
dominate the world, circumnavigation.
Yeah. Risk is, it's a strategy world conquest game. I think 2 to 5 players in most modes.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
think
they'll 6, some modes have 6 players, they'll add a player.
Sure.
It was like it's one of the most like influential like strategy games like that. I know it influenced like big ones like Settlers of Catan and like
really?
Axis
really?
and Allies. I think it's a big one like that.
It influenced Settlers of Catan?
I believe.
Or Settlers of Catan influenced
No, it influenced Settlers of Catan
Oh,
because
wow, okay,
Risk was invented in 1957
Wow.
Right?
57. That's
57.
a while ago, bro.
by
Is that earlier than you expected?
Yes.
yeah that's insane. That's when my dad was born.
57?
Yeah, 57.
Old as hell.
Yeah, and it was invented by this guy named Albert Lamouris. He was a Frenchman. He actually was a famous director.
What did you
A
direct?
movie director.
Movie director?
He had this
13 blows?
Well, he 13 blows.
That's
Is there
different.
any other French movies that you watch?
I forgot
Like
that.
French cinema?
That's like Truffaut or something.
He actually directed this movie.
don't know.
I was reading called The Red Balloon, which actually won awards at Cannes, like the music festival, the movie festival.
How many of them were there? Like 99?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the first name of the game was called La Conquête du Monde, which is
Conquest
mean?
of the Earth.
conquest of the world.
Oh, okay.
World.
So I think in 1957 he sold the game or offered the game to a French game company called Miro.
What does that mean?
Just look in the mirror.
Hey, look in the mirror, you can see for yourself.
Find out.
Okay.
But he offered the game, sold the game to a game company called Miro. The rules, I guess, were slightly changed like right away by some guy named Jean-René Vernes.
Okay, great.
Just to make it simple for like starting people. What ended up happening was Parker Brothers was actually
Parker.
Yeah.
Paquet Brothers.
Wait, is that Jacques? Hold on.
Yeah,
Boys. Get the fuck out of here, Jacques.
Jacques, you're not welcome.
So Parker Brothers had like a good relationship with Miro. I think they were like USA and France.
Sure.
Partnering up like always. And you know what's weird? If someone came up with a world conquest game 10 years after World War II, like give it a little bit of more time.
Yeah,
like
dude,
some bad shit just happened.
Nobody said Monsieur Lamont or whatever his name was. Bro, too soon. Lamarice. Wow, that is horrible.
But you know what? They should stop making World War II games. Like, the next Call of Duty game is a World War II game. Come on.
What the fuck?
Dude, World War II was a big one.
It was a big one, but...
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We go back to World War II every 5 seconds. Anyway, Parker Brothers had a good relationship, and they bought the game and brought the game to the United States in 1959, the year my mother was born. What are these
My dad
years?
was born.
Wow.
Okay. Now, we say this like a joke, but it sounds like some national treasure shit. Like, this was all predestined, pre-planned. They knew it. They were making this shit up.
Oh,
yeah, right?
yeah.
They were like connecting the dates.
So there's a map
There's a
hidden
map.
under the risk board.
Under the map?
Under the map. There's a map under the map.
No, wait. Under the risk board, there's a Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
There we go. Under the map.
Under each game of Risk.
There's a picture of Nick Cage.
Hell yeah. A Nick Cage body pillow. So they brought the game into the United States in 1959. I guess when they brought it to America, they modified the look of the game, and they added the cards.
There were no cards before.
Which I guess would be there to speed up the game. So, I mean, we'll get into what the cards do in a little bit, but...
I'm sorry, Nick Cage actually just signed for National Treasure 3 and National Treasure 4. Yes,
No, he did
I'm
not.
pretty
Really?
sure. I'm sorry.
Are you making that up?
I'm pretty sure I'm not. I
That's
saw
funny,
it on some
dude.
social media. They're doing it again.
I'm going to say this, but then I'm going to keep talking so you guys don't reply. I haven't seen the first two.
Oh. I saw the first one. It was good. It was all right.
It's fine.
It's silly.
You haven't seen the second one?
I haven't seen the
I
second
don't
one.
think I've seen the second one. but
National
anyway.
2 Treasure 2. And last but not least, after they brought it here, they changed the name to Risk, the Continental game.
The continent.
So still. And then I guess a few years later, it was changed to the Game of Global Domination, which is what it's been for the longest time.
Yeah.
There's this rumor at Parker Brothers that one of the Parker Brothers execs, one of the executives of Parker Brothers, his grandchildren's names, their initials, spell Risk, and that's it's a rumor and like a legend at Parker Brothers.
Wow.
Well, I guess Parker Brothers is gone now, but
Oh, yeah.
but it was like I guess it was like this legend. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers like the history of the game.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm gonna. There's this game is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about this game. I never played it. I don't want to bury the lead, but I never played this game. But this game was just kind of nuts. It's been out obviously since the 50s.
Yeah.
But in '86, they kind of busted it open when they came up with like a new version of Risk called Castle Risk, and that was the first like Risk, a new kind of Risk. Like they didn't do America anymore. This one was Europe, and they
cool.
did European castles.
Oh,
as like the thing,
that's
which
so
is cool, right?
That's kind of cool.
But what that did was basically open the door for them to create millions of Risks, not millions, but just dozens of different iterations, different IPs of Risk throughout the years. I kind of want to just bullet point some that really caught my eye.
Yeah.
Castle Risk was obviously the first one. In 2002, they opened it up with outside IPs with Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings was
They
first
did.
one.
They did Middle Earth.
I feel like did Luke not mention that?
I think Luke did have.
Oh, when he was on the pod?
Yeah, I think he said
Risk.
Lord of the Rings.
Earth.
Yeah, or Middle. Yeah, he said that for sure.
I'm
That's
sure
cool.
he's played it at least.
For sure. But after that, they obviously new IPs. They busted the doors open for that.
Star Wars.
After
I
that,
know was one.
after that, Star Wars Clone Wars was first, and then they did the original trilogy. They did a Narnia, Transformers. In 2009 they did a Halo one.
That's
What?
cool.
That's cool.
Yes, they've done so many video games ones. Metal Gear Solid I have here. Halo Legendary in 2012.
I mean, when you say that, I mean, keep going.
It's like they did a Walking Dead one, Plants vs Zombies, Doctor Who, another Star Wars one. In 2015 they did an MCU one. They done Star Trek, and in 2018 they went off, guys.
They went off. They popped off.
They did Rick and Morty edition.
Oh
No, bro, hold on. Hey, dude, bro, that's wild. That's actually.
I can't
pretty
believe
wild.
that, dude. Wait,
Why
how?
did we play that one?
We should have played that. You probably have to. You probably have to be able to see certain like wavelengths or like
Scott
lights.
would have been maybe able to play that one.
I wouldn't be able to see that, man. Well, I don't know. I don't mean to step on your toes, and maybe you're going to say this, but like as you're saying all those IP, like Risk certainly seems like a precursor to the modern day RTS.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah, like a Star
Trek or StarCraft or a Warcraft or
sure.
any of those games. Like it definitely felt like that vibe.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can definitely see some aspects of real-time strategy, and I feel like there's a lot of games with, like, just positional, like, territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You hold down a territory, and then you attack adjacent territories and stuff like that. I feel like it's a precursor.
I didn't even think of that. Did you guys ever... I mean, it's got to be a precursor. Video games...
Right.
I mean, video games didn't exist in the 50s.
And inspiration.
I mean, I bring that up because I just have been playing the very first Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah. I downloaded that on GOG. Whatever the fuck it is.
That platform.
Yeah, but the point and click, just RTS. It reminded me of that a little bit.
Did you guys ever play this game? I remember playing it so much, probably on like easy difficulty because I was like, hey, Heroes of Might and Magic.
Whoa, that is...
I have friends that have played it, and I know about it. I've never played it.
Yeah, it was basically a conquest kind of thing, just like that. Just like Risk. But I mean, like I said, a bunch of different IPs. I mean, in 2019, they did 3 video games. They did Assassin's Creed, Elder Scrolls. They did a Risk Junior in that same year. 2019, I have 6 different games that came out. But
wow.
But I think they're still coming out with new ones.
Yes.
Scott just sent us a link to.
Yeah. I mean, as we were like talking about playing this game, Hasbro announced a brand new version of Risk that. I mean, there's a lot of different IPs, but there's a lot of different like iterations of Risk. And a really popular one in the board game scene right now are legacy games. I guess like right now, more like 5 years ago. Legacy games where you play it with the same group of people over several times, and the board like changes each time you play. Mm-hmm. Like there will be things that the game tells you to, like a deck of cards, and it tells you to take out this card and rip it up and throw it away from the game. Or you put a sticker like permanently on the board or something like that. And they just came out with their brand new, which actually for legacy games, Risk Legacy was super popular. Like Risk on its own is, I'd say like, kind of it's a gateway drug of a game for people in the board game scene. But Risk Legacy was really popular to board game nerds like, 4 or 5 years ago.
Sure.
And yeah, and they just came out with a new one. So that's pretty exciting. I like it.
That's you were telling us a little about that legacy stuff beforehand. I can't even imagine. I think Joe and I both were like gobsmacked. Or you're like, you just like if you nuke Russia, you throw a big ass sticker over Russia, and it's done forever for the length of you owning this board game.
Yeah. In this economy, fucking up a $50 board game, dude, holy shit, dude!
I can't.
But like when they started,
if you're the Monopoly guy, maybe. But
like when they started doing that, it just took board games to another level. Yeah, like you're only going to play it a handful of times, but like with board game nerds, people just like playing new games and having new experiences. And if you have a good I could go off on legacy games. They're really, really good though.
We're playing Shoots and Letters Legacy Edition.
Legacy Edition?
Let's go.
Yes. That's not a bad idea.
So like I'm going to throw it to you, Scott. And we kind of tag team this because it's tough.
Right.
So you have all this knowledge of like board games because you're a board game nerd. We've said this since
my brain is huge.
Your brain
got glasses.
It's insane. You're wearing glasses right now as we speak. The way this game is played is a little confusing, but I think, like you said, it's a gateway drug. So I think it's better for like starter people who want to get into crazy strategy games like this. I mean, we said it's a world conquest game, but like kind of explain how it's played.
So I mean, it's a game of global domination. So the object of the game, at least in the one that we played, was to have a majority of the territories. It's the world cut up into, I think it was like 45 territories.
Yeah.
Or something like that, 45, 50. And, we split up all the territories get divvied out amongst all the players at the beginning. And then you seed your territories with infantry. Most of the time, you're just starting off with 1, sometimes 2. And then each turn, you gather more infantry depending on which territories you own, how many territories you own, your specific locations, and you put more troops down, which reinforces areas, and then you attack adjacent territories. And you're just trying to strategically place yourself in good positions to defend the places you maintain and attack other places, and you do so by rolling die. Like if you go and attack another territory, you roll 1 to 3 attacking die depending on how many attackers you have.
Yep.
And the defenders roll 1 or 2 defending die. So there's like the strategy in it is it's a numbers game. You're trying to have a strategic advantage when you're attacking, and you're trying to fortify as much as you can with defense. That's pretty much it.
When we played the first kind of battle, the first little war battle, I mean, I'm so new to strategy games like this. I know shit, but when it was we roll dice, highest number wins. Wow, this must be what in my dumb I know shit about board games brain. I host a board game podcast. In my dumb I know shit about board games brain, I was like, this is like Dungeons and Dragons, huh? We're fighting for real with dice.
Thank you for saying that, because we are one step closer to a real Play Dungeons and Dragons podcast. It's happening.
You will never be given your dream.
Please.
If we do that, it has to be the Rick and Morty edition.
Bro, tell me when, and I will buy everything that it needs, and we will play.
Wait, Scott's buying it?
Oh, no,
hey, right now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in. We talked about this.
I saw
Rick
it
and
at the
Morty
bookstore.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That's fucking cool. Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons.
I think I should just get that anyways. I think I should just get that.
Yeah,
just to hold on to it.
I mean, I'll play day one, bro.
It's pretty funny, dude.
But yeah, so you play basically until with 3 players. The version that we played is you have to own 25 territories. At the end of your turn, if you own 25, you're considered winner.
Yes.
Which...
That's kind of a modified rule. That's not a real thing.
It's a cheater. It's a cheap... these kids these days need watered-down Risk.
Well, because how do you play normally?
So-
Or how do you win normally, rather?
And let me just jump right into playing as a kid.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Because I played this game a lot as a kid. And even if I wasn't playing it, I was watching people play it. Glenn played this a lot with his friends, in his high school years, and I would play some, and I would just get wiped out within a couple turns. And we would have 5 players, and this game would go on all night.
Woof.
And I would get wiped out after 2 hours, and it would still be going on till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
This game can take a really long time. But when I played, in the mid-aughts, to win, you had to own all of the territories. You had to wipe every other player out.
Yes.
Which is completely different strategically from the way we played. You only have to own 25 territories. It was I guess I'll just blow the lead right now. I won.
Yeah.
Wow, surprise.
But it was kind of weird because it didn't feel like a win
Because
to me.
you're playing against 2 dummies? You're
yeah, I mean, you guys had never played before.
Exactly. You're talking about us us growing up with this game.
Yeah.
Joe and I have never played this game.
Right. And to understand kind of the meta game of it, you're just not going to get it on the first time.
Yeah.
And I played this game a lot. I actually played a small version on iOS on my iPod Touch back in the day. That was my pooping game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, I could play a quick game against the CPU, against 2 or 3 CPUs in 5 minutes. And I played all the time. So it was a watered down game, but
He hustled us.
I seriously understanding the strategy, understanding the map, understanding which territories are easier to defend. That's something you're just not going to get on the first time.
Right.
But that makes it more fun to play several times.
No, you're right.
So, yeah, I would play this a lot as a kid, and I would play this with a bunch of different people. So, yeah, I had a version. We didn't play that version, but it was a good time. What about you guys? Joe, what's your experience?
This was believe it or not, my first time playing Risk. I know very little about Risk, so much so that I mixed this up with Stratego, or Stratego, however you pronounce it. I suggested let's play Risk because I saw Stratego in Marino's kitchen. I'm like, let's play Risk. And I thought it was the same game. It's just this 2 white dudes on horses doing imperialism and killing minorities.
It's very similar font.
Yeah, very similar. And I'm like, this is the same game. Well, I thought I assumed that they're different, but had never played this game or heard of it, see it all the time.
Exactly.
But again, you look at it, you just see a British dude on the cover. I mean, that's not cool as hell. I want to see like now. Had I known there was a Master Chief version,
Bro.
Right.
or a Rick and Morty version, now that would have changed things up. But no, I've never played this game in my life.
Yeah.
Marino, what about you?
Same. I never played this game in my life. And I want to say there was a time in high school where I went over a mutual friend's house who is also a big board game nerd, who I know you play board games with. And I think I went there, and I think he was setting up a game of Risk or something on the table. We were there for a totally different reason, but he's just there setting up Risk or some shit.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong. It might have been Magic the Gathering. All these things happened in this nerdy-ass house.
Right.
But it was just like... that's all I knew. Was like I knew that it was a game that you try to take over the thing, and it was very strategy based, and nerds played it. And dude, that was cool. What the fuck?
Marino was cool as fuck. Dude.
Did you guys see the Seinfeld episode about Risk?
Was there a Seinfeld?
Dude, there's a really iconic Seinfeld episode about Risk. Did you guys watch Seinfeld back in the late 90s?
Mulva, right?
I've been watching
No, it was
random.
Ukraine. Like
What?
What are you saying?
Jerry dated somebody,
Oh.
so a woman whose name rhymed with like a name for a vagina. They were trying to figure out the whole episode. And like,
Oh, really? Or
no, this one like I can't remember. But it's a really good episode, and like anytime people talk about Risk, I immediately think of that Seinfeld episode.
yeah,
and
Seinfeld on Netflix now.
I think it's Kramer and
Michael
Newman.
Richards.
Kramer and Newman are playing, and it's like a game that keeps on going forever, and they're actually playing it on the train. Like it's been a several day endeavor, and Kramer says to Newman, like, "I'm not going to take Ukraine. Ukraine is weak." And there's like a Ukrainian guy on the train. He's like, "What? You mean Ukraine is weak?" And he like hits the board.
Oh no,
It's a pretty funny moment.
That is funny.
But, yeah, people from the '90s who played Risk and also watched Seinfeld, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
That's the target demographic for this particular
that's it,
episode.
right here. Seinfeld watchers from the '90s, also board games.
I feel like I should have watched Seinfeld.
Oh, bro.
Just miss it. Kramer and Newman. They're playing Seinfeld still, George. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, is that?
Elaine, what's the deal?
What's the deal?
What's the deal? They're playing Seinfeld. Oh, shit, I'm
is
playing.
good.
So I was
They're
they're playing Seinfeld. I was playing Seinfeld the other day on my
Seinfeld
TV.
game.
I just randomly put on some episodes.
Nice.
Hey, hijinks.
Dude, hijinks and
His friends were acting a certain way, and he was just like dumbfounded by them. Anyway, but yeah, I like I said, never played this game.
Yeah.
Didn't really know shit about it. First time playing it today. You wiped the floor with us, but beyond that, I kind of wanted to play some commercials.
Yeah, let's
I don't
play
know if these are. I don't know if these are a big thing that people remember, but I got one from the '80s and one from the '90s. I'm gonna hit us with the. I'm gonna hit us with the '80s one first.
All right.
Great.
Risk. Risk. Win the game, and you win the world. Parker Brothers kind of fun.
Those nerd ass kids.
That was like Rick Moranis, but as a child.
Dude, for real.
oh my gosh, dude, those big glasses.
It started with those two dudes in their big ass glasses clanking against each other, basically.
Yeah, almost kissing.
Almost kissing, and just like
weird.
you just hear the glasses clank, and they're just like it's like Risk, and like
That's so weird.
But yeah, in that commercial you saw like instead of the little plastic pieces that we played with, I think back then they used like wood pieces.
Well, the pieces that we played were dudes. There was a dude,
An
an
infantry-
infantryman, a dude on a horse with a sword, and a
Cavalry.
dude operating a
Artillery.
cannon. These were just wooden Roman numerals. It looked
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, wooden Roman numerals, which is a thing they did. I think it was wooden blocks to start with or something like that. Then they went to these wooden Roman numerals, and then to save money, they went plastic.
I mean, the plastic guys are cooler, I think, honestly, than Roman numerals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
no, for sure. You're very right about that. But yeah, that commercial is like
It's goofy. It's very 80s, but that just really solidifies it as, hey, if you're playing this game, you're for sure a
You're a
nerdy boy. like girls are not playing this game.
no.
You got to have big ass glasses to play this
You
game.
gotta have a pocket protector.
Do you look like one of the kids from Stranger Things? Buy this game.
Yeah.
Buy this game, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that was from like I think the 80s is what it said. I have one here. It's from 97. So I don't know. Maybe one of us remembers it.
In Risk, the world is your battlefield. You are the general, leading armies across borders, conquering everything in your path to take over not just a country, but the entire world. Risk, the game of global domination.
Oh my goodness, dude.
That's a classic 90s commercial. I don't think I've ever seen that, but it's just like...
It seems with 90s commercials, it's either going to be, hey, kids, and like bright ass colors, or it's going to be a British man explaining the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was cool, fun as hell. I mean, sold me on the game.
Yeah.
I never saw that commercial though.
It seems badass, and that's from '97. I guess.
I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, that was my prime. I mean, like I was watching TV at that time.
right.
Like I don't remember that shit.
It's not very memorable. It's a little
it's
forgettable.
not.
They play Flight of the Valkyries in the background.
I think too. I think as a kid, like warfare just didn't interest me as a kid, really.
Yeah.
But as an adult, you're about it.
I'm pro war. Like let's go to war. But as a child, I'm like, I'm not really into war all that much.
Yeah,
you know.
No.
It's just, but no, that was cool.
Yeah, it's a cool commercial. I mean, and another one of those commercials that just kind of explains the game. I mean, it's world domination. And in both commercials, I think it was showing gameplay, moving pawns, taking over. I mean, that's the whole game.
Now, I don't remember the 80s commercial. Like in the 80s commercials, obviously two nerds, Poindexters, if you will. Friggin', what's another word for nerd? Bozos. I don't think that's really
a real Fraser Crane.
A real friggin' dweeb.
A real brain.
A brainiac,
And
right?
the other
An
is
egghead,
like
if you will.
Fraser Crane.
Yeah.
But in this one, I don't think that there were kids. It was just like the soldiers from different armies, which is kind of cool. I think I said this before, but I like in board game commercials where the actors are like portraying the people from the board games.
Yeah.
I think that's dope.
Yeah, you're right.
That is pretty cool.
It is dope. So I mean, that's the commercials. We had a fun time playing it. I mean, let's kind of talk about how our gameplay went.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was very evident from the get that Joe and I had never played this game.
Yeah.
It's thank God you played the game as much as you did, because you were able to explain the rules to us. That rule book was like 7 pages long.
The rule book was long, but we got reference cards, which really explained what you do each turn and made it so simple.
Yeah.
I mean, the rule book, honestly, that rule book is written horribly. It's such a simple game, and there's a few nuances, but that rule book is so bad.
You know what? It is honestly, even though it's probably the longest game we've ever played, and and the most strategic game.
Yeah.
The rules are pretty damn simple when you think about it. Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
There's not a lot to work out, and but yeah, it's heavily strategic. It's all about the choices you make.
Yeah.
And I was like halfway through the game, I started, because at first, you get more troops, and you guys were doing the thing that I feel like a lot of beginners do, and they spread their troops out to a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
And that seems like a good idea, but you'll quickly find out. I think it was Joe's turn. I was like, bro, you got 5 to place right now. Place them all in the same area because you can take territories that way. And then Joe was like, okay. And then it came to Marino's turn, and then he was starting to get it. And that's something you're just not getting. If I had explained that to you at the beginning of the game, and I didn't really, I couldn't really remember. It's been years since I played. So,
well, if you started dishing out pro strats as we were playing the game, like I said, I would have just told you, shut the fuck up, Scott, let's play.
It was nice because let's talk about how long our game took. What, 2.5 hours, maybe?
Probably.
And we did the 25 territories victory, but we could have done the long route,
dude. Because at that point, and it's all about. I mean, it's all about making risks, calculated risks.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to leave yourself open.
Yeah.
You're very circumspect before you make a move.
Yeah, so you gotta circumnavigate the globe.
Circumnavigate the globe.
But no, I mean, dude, I really like this game.
Yeah,
it's fun, but it's such a huge barrier to me because it's so long.
It's so long, dude. And we played the short version, which is 2.5 hours. But I guess what I was saying is there were different, I don't want to say tiers, but different points in the game. An hour into the game, Scott's like, all right, guys, here's how you play the game for real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meta strategy involved in this game, which is obviously it's a given. But it was just funny how Scott would drop different tidbits at different points in the game, and then kind of unlocked a new mental wavelength for Marino and I. We kind of got a little wiser, a little smarter, a little more strategic. I will say.
I for sure think this one is definitely is a repeat game that we will play for the pod. and we're gonna get the Rick and Morty version because I want to do that with you guys.
That'd be fun.
Hell yeah, dude! And I think if you've played Risk before, I mean, there's different continents, and there's some continents have they're connected to other continents.
Yes.
Hey, have you ever seen a world globe?
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those. But I mean, there was a part this game could have gone on for days. Joe had Oceania, and the only way into Oceania is through Southeast Asia. There's one entrance into Oceania, basically. And Joe had all of Oceania. He could have put all his troops every turn into, Indonesia or whatever, and we would have never been able to break through.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a goofy thing that you could just do in a game. To me, that kind of makes the game a little wild.
But the thing that balances that out on the long term is Oceania is not worth a lot of troops. So towards the end game, if somebody's hunkering and bunkering down, it's a war of attrition. Like, you're going to have all these other territories. You're going to be getting more troops than they are, and it's just over several rounds, just taking out small bits at a time. But it's like Oceania is a great place.
Great place to visit. Go visit.
Go there. I love it. Yeah, go there.
Dude.
New Zealand, bro. Go on the freaking Lord of the Rings tour down there, bro.
Get some fastas.
But strategically for warfare,
no.
It's a good spot.
Oh, it's a
I
good spot.
like it.
Okay. These strategies kept opening up to us that we wouldn't have gotten. It just reminds me of, I don't know. It really is you just got to learn. You got to learn the more you play it. Like you said it. Like if we were to start that game over right in the middle there, it would have gone completely differently. It kind of is like a rich get richer thing, much like Monopoly. And this game does take forever, much like Monopoly. Where if you can get Boardwalk and Park Place in the beginning or something like that, and people land on it, you're gonna get so much money that you're gonna be able to do more and more and more and more. The rich just get richer. The more land or the more territory you own, the more troops you can get.
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon me, but the more troops you can get, the more. It's a rich get richer thing, and so we all started off on level playing ground, but you got rich quick because you were playing against two dumb bozos.
Well, I mean, it just all comes down, especially in that early game, not spreading yourself thin and not going for the part of the strategy is, if you're going on even playing fields, like if you have two attackers against two defenders. On a defense roll, on a roll, a tie goes to the defender. So always there will be an advantage to be defending if you're just doing one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So I hardly ever did a one-on-one battle. That was I
don't know if you did.
That's strategically you got to have at least two, especially if you're trying to just take territories.
Yeah,
but. If you're trying to build up more defense, you can make those risky moves. But
and you kept saying that, Scott, throughout, and I never learned. I was like, I think Marino, you did this too, but I kept doing friggin' 5 one-on-ones in a row and would lose every time. I'm like, fuck, and you kept saying that, Scott, and I wouldn't listen.
Yeah,
and then it clicked. I'm like, oh, maybe Scott, maybe there's some truth behind what Scott's saying.
I'm scared because the Rick and Morty one, y'all gonna come back. You're gonna have
Lubba Lubba Dub. Am I right, Marino?
And those 2 dubs are me and Joe getting 2 dubs.
Bro, I believe it because that one, I feel like it's not only the strategy, it's also the knowledge of Rick and Morty universe.
Random trivia.
You have to be a little dark and kind of jaded, I think, to be able to play that game to its full extent.
Like Joe, especially, you're really sick and twisted.
I'm very sick and dude. I kind of see the world through a different lens. If I'm gonna be honest, you guys have glasses. I don't have glasses, but I kind of am wearing the glasses of just the burden of knowledge.
Joe is actually wearing physical portal lens glasses right now. The lens of his glasses are like Rick's portal gun.
The glasses of the burden of knowledge. His fucking specs. He's got
only someone who watches Rick and Morty could say that sentence. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play this game again at some point. Just because I feel like I understand it now. I feel like I could do it. I mean, Scott absolutely wiped the floor with us. But I mean, let's get into I don't know. You guys got more to say on our playthrough?
I mean, the only thing I can say is I mean, this will probably go into my review, but yeah, we did play a short version at 2.5 hours, and we called it there. I feel like we didn't finish, man. Yeah. I feel like I'm left here a little bit little upset, blue on edge. Just
I'm on edge for sure.
I'm on edge. I'm like, I need a conclusion. I need to finish this, but. Yeah, why don't we why don't we review?
Go ahead. Why don't you start?
Yeah. So this I'm gonna go. I like going from like my previous like presumptions about the game to the game.
Yeah.
Looking at the box does not look good to me at all. Looks boring to me. I'm not particularly interested in non-fictional like. Yeah, I guess history is important to learn, but I don't really. If it's
Boring.
not the Master Chief against the Covenant,
Hell yeah. The history of Azeroth,
or the history of the Horde versus the Alliance.
Oh, now that's a. Oh, I didn't see one on the list, and that's a miss.
That is a miss.
How is there not a battle for Azeroth Risk?
There should be.
That'd be cool.
I
Keep
bet
talking.
there
I'm
is.
looking this up.
But yeah. So like, it doesn't particularly strike me as a game that I would play. Though it's just kind of interesting because I am into RTSs, but I guess more fantasy or fantastical IP. And once we opened it up, and having heard what people said about the game, I was very worried and anxious and skeptical about playing it. I was like, we made a big mistake. when I had heard when I heard other people like review this game and kind of found out a little bit more, I was regretting it instantly. And when I came down to the basement and saw all the pieces, I was like, this is. I don't know. I feel like a little kid, not a little kid. I felt like I was about to lose my virginity for the first. I guess not for the first time.
Quite the opposite playing this game, but
yeah, for the first time.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what do you do with all these pieces? This is crazy. Once you get into it, though, it makes sense. It clicks.
Yeah.
It's constant stuff's going on. It's fun. It's strategy. You're fucking over your friends. You're doing stuff. Having a fun old time.
Hell yeah.
I had a blast. I would definitely play this again. I will maybe... This is one that I might buy for myself. Or like just to have on stock. This is also
the Rick and Morty one.
I gotta get the Rick and Morty one. This might also just be one that like I might own it because I know I bought a bundle on Steam.
We should play this on Twitch.
On Twitch,
right?
that'd be fun.
That would be really fun.
Marino, was this in the bundle? Do you know?
And that one Hasbro bundle?
Yeah.
I mean, it may be in a bigger bundle, but the bundle that I bought only had 3 games.
Didn't have it. Well, I think I might buy this. This would be a fun game to play
Yes,
online.
that's totally fun.
I think. But yeah, no, it was a blast. I want to play it again. Cool as hell. Maybe not my favorite game that we've played, but definitely one of the coolest games we played. I'm gonna give it friggin' 9 out of 11 white guys with swords.
Hell yeah, that's a lot of white guys with swords.
That's a lot of white dudes with
prop
swords.
swords.
Prop swords.
At Comic-Con.
Yeah, at Comic-Con.
Okay, so I'll go next. Yeah, I mean, all I thought about this game was like, this is a super nerdy game.
Yeah.
I had a lot of experience with like Settlers of Catan. Like I remember like back when like everyone was kind of playing that game. Yeah, back when everyone was playing the game. I remember Danielle and I bought.
Dweeb.
I am what I am. Yeah. We bought that game and we even bought like an expansion thing so we could play with more friends and stuff like that. I remember like you guys coming over and us playing Settlers here and there, and like I feel like I might like this game more
than Settlers.
Weirdly,
yeah.
But I feel like I really like this game. I mean, Scott's kind of my gateway into all of these games. I think you're the first person I played Settlers with. Like Ticket to Ride, another like strategic game like that. Like I remember playing that with you.
That's in the bundle for sure. No,
that is in a bundle. Yeah, that is in a bundle. But yeah, I mean, I had a fun time with this game. Follow up to what we said earlier. There is no Battle for Azeroth or any World of Warcraft, but isn't StarCraft Blizzard?
Yeah, it's Space Warcraft.
Yeah, you did say
there is a StarCraft. There's a StarCraft Risk.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't they do World of Warcraft anyway?
Missed opportunity.
Dumb. There's Warhammer, whatever the fuck.
Lame.
Anyway, no, I had tons of fun. Definitely, I think was much more fun than I thought it was going to be. To be honest, I thought it might be boring, but turn to turn. I mean, I think you said this one before we started. Like a turn is going to take a while, and it does. Like I didn't realize it was like. You just keep rolling until your army is depleted, and it could go on. It could go on for a while, but yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun. I feel like I don't mind a game that takes a long time. I don't. For this podcast's sake, we went with the shorter rules and stuff like that. But I don't know if I want to play by those rules ever again. I feel like I would be okay with a game that goes on for 8 days,
dude.
Well, yeah.
Keep going because
I'll sum it up. I mean, it was fun. I had a really fun time. Obviously, playing with you guys and fucking each other over is one of our favorite things to do. I think it kind of did me and Joe in because I was like, I got to get Joe on.
You guys kept going after Russia. Like Russia was the contested area, which stupidly Russia is a part of Europe in this map. Isn't it Asia? Isn't Russia?
It's
like
both.
half of
it's
it.
both, just
Okay,
like
sure.
just like in the game.
Okay,
kinda.
yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I don't know geography. So
Greenland was part of the Americas, though.
Which
Is
it
that-
is. It's technically part of North America.
Is it
but
really?
It's owned by Denmark.
Oh, weird.
I guess I don't know anything about shit.
But yeah, I mean, you guys were fighting each other over Russia.
Fighting over weird shit. But I had a fun time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a 37 out of 42 territories, which I think it is
Wow.
42. I'm not sure, but
Wow.
yeah. So I had a lot of fun.
Pretty good. Scary
Nice.
Tories if you're Halloween time, but
Scary
A
Tories.
little late on that one.
I know.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah, so for my review, look, this is a really good game. It sparked a lot of memories for me. I liked it a lot. Gotta say, I am disappointed with this version of the game.
Really?
Wow.
I did not like. Okay, there were several things that I noticed right away. Number one, the cards are so cheap. They're the worst cards I've ever put my fingers on.
Oh, tactically,
Whoa.
they're just
yeah,
kind of.
they're so bad. Like this version of the board game is horrendously cheaply made. Second of all, there's like that, dude. Cutting it off after 25 territories is not a win in my book.
Yeah.
Because there is really something about like slogging it out, battling, desperately holding on to whatever territories you own, and then completely dominating somebody. Like I was telling you guys, like I love dominating, and
Scott's
like
a dom.
but I don't want to just dominate like 60%. No, I want 100% domination.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and if somebody's gonna dominate me, like 60% dominate, that's just not gonna do it for me.
No,
I'm
absolutely
gonna
not.
hold on to that 40%.
Yeah.
That's all I.
That's what
all
I'm
I
saying.
can.
Joe and I, you dominated us 60%. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't
Look,
feel.
I'm going
to go
for
back home
100%.
and take care of business.
Yeah, but so there's definitely some negatives for this version of the game.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, love this game. It definitely brought me back, sparked some memories. Love to play it again. And I'm really happy. Like I was super nervous about playing this game with you guys because I know how long it can take, and because I know how ruthlessly competitive you guys are. Which I mean, we'll get to it, but a lot of the listeners, the feedback, and just a lot of people I talk to in general, like Risk is a friend-breaking game to a lot of people. So I had a great time. Wow, it's fun playing games with friends.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
But yeah, I had a great time. I would probably say, let's see, out of, I would give this 1.5. No, I would probably give this. I'd probably give this 2 out of 3 Queen Elizabeths.
Oh.
2 out of 3 Queen Elizabeths.
Okay.
There's probably only 2 Queen Elizabeths, but they're
Was
the
there
ones-
not famously a show on Netflix? Maybe is it the Queen or something?
Crown.
Yeah,
Or the Crown, but
That's a
like,
good
didn't
one.
they like recast the Queen? Or am I making
Yeah,
that
because she
up?
gets old. Like they recast her for older.
Oh,
parts, 'cause
okay.
they,
They
like,
started
have her-
covering Princess Diana and
Oh,
stuff.
bro,
now,
that's
so.
a good show. You got to watch that show.
Don't tell me what happens.
No, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It probably deserves more, like 2.5 out of 3
Sure.
from my book. But I think the annoyances with this version,
With this
knocked it down a
particular
little.
version. And we
Yeah.
did play a more recent version, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and that's actually an interesting thing that you bring up. As we're reviewing these games, like obviously the games evolve over time, and maybe we've talked about this, but I can't remember it over the course of 20 episodes or so. Are we reviewing these like based on the version that like we recently played, or the
Yeah.
game and our memories as a whole overall? Because obviously the games, the quality like ebbs and flows. And, I don't know.
You kind of got to weigh it out.
You gotta weigh it, like, balance it out.
Because this is it Hasbro's fault that we keep having issues with like newer
Yes.
versions? And sometimes it's like,
Yes, it is Hasbro's
Yeah, Hasbro's fault. Hey, R.I.P. to the man, though.
Yeah, CEO.
Jeff
Passed
Hasbro.
away.
I don't remember his name, but
No, I mean, like, so at least in my experience, because I've played this so much, it's hard for me to, separate my opinion of it as a kid
yeah,
from playing it now.
which is
So-
fine. I mean, that's part of your experience.
But there's
Of course.
a lot of other games that we played that we have not played as a kid. So the only opinion of it we have is the current one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of like opinions on stuff,
Yeah. So that's what we thought about Risk, but let us know what you thought. Send us an email, DM, message, etc., etc. As I do every week, I post on social media and say, "Hey, this is the game that we're recording this week. Have you played it? do you have any memories, any favorite stories, or any questions? People responded. I put up a poll first. I asked, hey, did you play this game? 63% of the people that did respond said they did play it. 63%.
That's
63. How many
low to me.
responses did we get?
I don't know, man. It wasn't a lot. It was like,
Yeah, but to get a weird percentage like 63%?
it was more than 7, but I cannot tell you the exact number.
Okay.
It might have been, I don't know. I can't tell you. But 63 have played Risk. We did get a couple of responses, a few responses, I should say. Older brother of the pod, Glenn Eikenberry,
Glenn.
said, middle school rite of passage. We had so many dudes in different territories, we ran out of plastic pieces and wrote down stupid high numbers down on scraps of paper to represent our troops.
I remember watching Glenn play this. Like I said, I was bad at this game as a kid.
Yeah.
He would always like eliminate me in the first few turns. But I remember like just being flabbergasted that there were numbers in the hundreds of troops like posted up in Iceland.
Could
to
you imagine
protect
rolling
territory.
against that?
It takes hours. But yeah,
That would
no,
be-
that's a really good memory, Glenn. Thanks for that one.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
crazy.
Younger brother of the pod,
No.
Michael Rodriguez, said, I don't think any experience I've had with Risk has been a good one. My friends and I will play the game for like 8 hours straight, absolutely dog each other out the whole time, and then not talk for a month. Because it seems like this game only brings out the worst in people. We still have trauma over games that happened like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
When he said that, I'm like, first of all, 8 hours, you're exaggerating. No, I can totally see that makes sense. Our game was cut short at 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I'm not the type of person to like hold grudges over a game. I don't think I am. I get competitive.
Yeah.
Like this whole podcast, we talked about fucking each other over during games, and we do it, and it's all in good fun. This game, it just, I'm the type of I feel like at some point, because like I want to win, but at the same time, if I'm like in a position where I don't feel like I'm going to win, I could see myself after a few hours being like, "Here's my fucking pieces. I'm done. I don't want to keep going.
Yeah.
I will give up. I don't have a problem. I'm not playing for longer than 4 hours. Maybe I am.
Yeah. This game had obviously the point of the game is world domination. So I guess the crux of the game is fuck you.
Yeah.
But I felt like the fuck you parts in like trouble or sorry were more biting than this, right?
They were more shitty. Most of this is just about. It's not like a one or the other choice to fuck you. It's not like you're randomly picking. It's like you can clearly see like the strategy.
Yeah.
So it's not as it's not as heartbreaking.
It's not as personal.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
as
a little less
personal,
personal.
but it is demoralizing when you see Scott's got like 3 continents under his wing, and you're just like, all right, what the fuck am I going to do?
And when I beat you, I got 6 troops on your 2. If I wipe those out, I'm picking them up and throwing them off.
Yes,
I'm not,
yes,
like, dude.
It is
I
so
don't have time,
disrespectful to. I said this, but to pick up the other person's players and hand it to them,
Yeah, dude, I'm not-
like after you kill them, it's
I
like,
gotta move. Okay, look, I'm sweeping through all of North America. I'm wiping Joe out. I'm handing him his pieces. Okay,
it's fucked up.
I ain't got time for him to sulk over.
I was sulking for sure.
I mean, but that goes to the point that like I was talking about. Like you were running the train on us at the end there, but I was so okay with it. I was like, just end my misery, Scott. Take over all of Europe, baby. Take it. Take my whole body. Like I'm done with this game. We're 2.5 hours in. Just get your 25. Like
This man wanted to be dominated.
He did.
bro. And you know what? You were right. I wish you would have dominated the whole board. I would have been like, oh, Scott.
You know what's funny too? This game went by fast. Honestly, I remember playing like Life, which might have been our longest game.
Felt longer.
Felt
right?
like a million years. I think we only played that for an hour and 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
This game went by in the blink of an eye. I was like, when the game ended, I was like, wow, that was that was kind of fast.
And it was like 2 hours. Yeah, life was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it felt like 5 hours.
Oh yeah. It was a
Even though we
slog.
had Luke, who we fucking love here, it just
I think Life is just a bad game.
Yeah.
It's just boring. Whereas this game was fun all
was
around.
fun.
I was pleasantly surprised by this game.
That's cool.
yeah, you were doing stuff on every turn. Like, oh man, okay.
It was good. Oh, and then the last bandmate of the pod, Jonathan from For the People music or For the People.
For the people music.
Check him out on Instagram.
Check him out on
They
Instagram.
play a lot of times in Chicago. Go see
Um,
For the People.
Said
Wow.
I'm surprised you guys are taking a risk playing this.
Wow.
So Jonathan is the guitarist in my band, and I think I'm gonna quit the band because that's all that man does. It's just puns all day and puns all night with him.
I love it.
So
That's
it
pretty
was
good,
very
man.
on brand for him to make that comment. I loved it.
But yeah, that's all the feedback I got. I mean, did you guys hear anything else about this?
No.
No, I mean, just some anecdotes. People like, oh, well, you're going to play that one. Yikes.
People be saying that shit.
Yeah, they're like, yikes. Yeah, pulling at their collar. Yeah.
But yeah, no, fun. If you're listening to this and you're like, hey, that game looks boring, nah, give it a shot.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. But anyways, guys, I got a segment.
Hey,
I got a segment
You got
planned.
a segment.
So, I mean, yeah, we were talking about Risk, and you know, one of the phrases that comes up is like, you know, how you're gonna risk it. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yeah.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
you know, that kind of
Risk
thing.
it for the biscuit.
So
I've heard that.
Speaking of biscuits, popular '90s rock band. Are they even a rock? So the segment that I have planned is called "Risk It for Limp Bizkit,"
Okay.
about popular '90s rock,
New metal?
New metal.
New
metal. What is
Fronted
that?
by Fred Durst.
Fred Durst, the man himself.
The man, the myth, the legend.
So yeah, I have this game is called "Risk It for Limp Bizkit."
Okay.
And how we'll play it is I have a series of questions, and let's see.
Is this a Limp Bizkit trivia game?
It is a Limp Bizkit trivia game.
Wow. Do you guys know how they got their name? You guys know what a Limp Bizkit is?
Wait, maybe this is. I know what that is, but this might be
Hang
part of.
on,
This might be a
I'm
question.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Keep the trivia till the end.
Is
We
this the
can-
same thing as a soggy waffle?
I just kind of wanted to talk about
We
it.
can talk about Limp Bizkit in general after these. Okay, so I have a series of questions about everyone's favorite '90s new metal band,
Hell
Limp
yeah.
Bizkit. So basically, I'll just ask you a question. It's no multiple choice. You guys can talk about the answer, but lock it in, and I'll ask you, for your answer, and then you'll, let me know your answer. If you get it right, you get a point.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's
I'm gonna
kick it
fuck
off.
you up, Marino.
Speaking of Fred Durst, what logo does Fred Durst have on his hat?
Oh, shit.
What is the logo on
The
Fred Durst's
logo
hat?
on Fred Durst's hat?
He
I think I know.
He wears the same hat all the time.
I don't know, man. He strikes me as the type of dude that would have fucking Calvin pissing on something.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right?
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I don't
Because he looks like Calvin with the backwards hat.
I mean, there's a certain type of person that wears like the back of the hat
Yeah.
immediately above his
About
eyebrows.
the eyebrows.
Like that's his
Does
whole
he
vibe.
have? Does he rocking like the chin strap too?
He's got definitely some a very '90s goatee.
Yeah, dude,
action.
Dude, present day Fred Durst, though, he's like super self aware. It's really weird.
Is he really?
Well, their new album is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on, we'll talk about.
Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Like, they're like self aware. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So
I know.
what's the logo on
I'll
his
lock
hat?
in my answer.
Joe, I'm gonna make you say first.
Okay.
Fred. It's gonna be an anime waifu.
Okay, anime waifu. Marino?
I just have a feeling. I know it's like a red hat, but I think he wears like a red Yankees hat.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a New
Yankees
York
hat.
Yankees hat.
Okay.
Marino gets it. Yes, it's always red.
Yeah.
And it's always got the classic
That's
New York.
interesting.
Yes.
Dude, that was really popular in the late 90s.
Bro.
Because of Fred Durst.
Because of
Wow,
Fred
what a-
Durst.
What a
Don't
cultural
tell Jay Z that, dude.
icon. Okay. Number 2. What, according to Fred Durst, is the nookie? What is the nookie?
I mean,
Wow, he's just answering life's questions like that.
Hey,
huh?
wouldn't we do
you're
it all
doing
for it?
when you're doing it all for the nookie.
Marino,
I mean, I've
what's the nookie? Tell me.
I imagine it wasn't it like remember what was the game with the newlywed game? Didn't they call sex the nookie? So I'm gonna say
I remember that.
Oh no, was it? What did they call it? Oh fuck! What did he say? He's like, oh, when you're making whoopee is what he would say on the
Oh.
newlyweds game. I'm gonna say it's sex though. I'm gonna say it's vagina is the nookie.
Joe?
You tell me Whoopi Goldberg's first name is Sex?
She chose it.
Damn.
Did she?
Did she choose it?
Is that
What-
her?
Is that a stage name or is that a real
Oh
name?
wait, I don't know if her last name is a stage name.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
I don't know about her first name.
Ooh, the
What are you gonna say?
nookie. The
What's the
nookie.
nookie?
Is it Snooky without an S? Is he doing
That's
it all
not
for
it.
Snooky?
That's-
okay. But
What's your real answer?
my real answer is going to
Lock it
be
in.
it's sexy fun times.
It's sexy
you know?
fun time. You both get that one. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the nookie is doing the deed.
The
Hell
deed.
yeah.
According to when Durst getting his career started in Los Angeles, he was sending money home to his girlfriend to pay the bills. Instead, she used the money to treat her and another man to drugs and hotel rooms. In this
Damn.
song, Durst explains that he knew what was going on, but stayed with her for the sex. That's the nookie.
To the streets.
To quote Fred Durst, I stayed with her for the sex. That's the nookie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
He never struck me as a cuck.
So
He didn't. I'm sorry. With
wait,
the backwards hat like
when
that?
he says so you could take that cookie and stick it up your is he saying it to that guy?
No, to her probably.
Could be.
But what's the cookie?
Just like literally a cookie.
A
Chips on-
physical cookie?
Yeah.
Stick it up your dude.
We got to get Fred Durst on the pod.
Fred
Anyway,
Durst. Do you think
number
he
3.
listens? Okay.
Yeah, he listens.
What state famously did America's favorite hat-wearing band start?
This is me
Yeah,
first.
you're
Hat-wearing
right.
boy in the band start. What
Let's see.
state?
He did have a Yankees hat, but he strikes me as a Jersey guy. But he could be from Long Island. Oh, fuck.
Yep. What state did the band start in?
The band. Oh, but he also has like a Detroit vibe to him too.
okay.
Lord help me.
Fuck, dude. Just like a.
Wait, let's see. I think it's Joe's
Joe.
It
turn.
is my turn.
Guess first.
It's one of the three. It's either Michigan, New Jersey, or New York. He looks like he's like a gas station attendant.
Yeah, but think
Just
of,
let him lock in his answer.
Okay, go ahead.
What state did they form?
I think that's the $1 million question right there.
That's the $1 million question right there.
I'm gonna say Jersey, man.
Okay. Marino?
Bands don't form in Jersey.
Nope.
They form in California.
You're gonna say California?
It's either California or they formed in New York, but I'm gonna go ahead.
Bands
I'm gonna
can
assume
form
California.
in Jersey.
This surprised
Rarely.
me, honestly,
Jersey Boys?
but this makes sense.
They look like a California band. I don't know.
with the whole vibe of the band. They formed in Florida, the penis of America.
Oh,
Let's be honest.
I knew that.
Oh. Dude, I was so focused on the shitty Northeast that I didn't
No.
even think of
the shitty
the
Southeast.
shitty Southeast.
Yeah, the penis of America.
The penis.
That's where
Damn,
they,
the dangly
that's where they formed.
dangly.
Okay, what song did they debut in Woodstock 1999, which allegedly instigated violence and vandalism throughout the festival? So, what of their iconic songs from 1999?
I know this.
Okay, then I'm gonna make Joe say first.
I only know Did It All for the Nookie. I don't know. I don't know any other.
Why do I know so much Limp Bizkit?
Why do you know Limp Bizkit?
Well, I mean, I had an older brother who like.
You
listened
just
to Limp
gave
Bizkit.
Marino.
No, I didn't. No, neither of you got that point.
He
last
just
time.
gave Marino his point right.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna.
Oh, I thought you preemptively.
I think I'm gonna.
All right, what is
Joe,
it?
what do you think?
I said Did It All for the
Okay,
Nookie.
Break stuff.
break stuff. Yes,
Now give him his point
It is
back.
You remember
Break
break stuff?
How's that go?
Give me something to break. Yeah, it's just one of those days when
Yeah.
you don't want to wake up. Yes.
Yeah.
there's a whole thing about. I have a quote here about Woodstock, but it's too long.
Was it Woodstock '99?
Woodstock '99.
That's
that
the one where
fucking-
people were like fucking like tossing around porta potties and shit and getting
Dude,
shit all over
yes.
themselves, dude.
And people say it was because of that
Limp-
song.
Really?
Break stuff.
That's
I mean, it makes.
perfect.
I mean, Woodstock '99. You always see these pictures, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers
Yeah.
wore like light bulbs on their heads, like big ass light bulb heads. Like
Yeah.
I just
Dude,
remember that was
people
crazy.
were covered in shit, like Dookie, like literally.
That's fucking
it's so gross.
Durst.
Hell yeah, dude! Rock
All right,
and roll.
Number 5. Fred Durst is a playable character in what video game based on a cult classic movie starring Brad Pitt? Also, the movie came out in 1999.
I didn't know that there was a video game. Huh?
No, it's based on the movie
Yeah.
out in '99 starring Brad Pitt
Yeah.
and Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Okay,
Brad
yeah,
Pitt,
yeah.
Matt
Let's say
Damon.
we're thinking of the same
We're
movie.
thinking
Yeah.
of the same movie.
There was a video game of 1, 2, 3, Fight Club.
Yes.
There was
The person that watches Fight Club is like the person that listens to Limp Bizkit.
Yes.
Yes,
And
right?
In the video game, Limp Bizkit was a playable character.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they're like, dude, Fight Club's got so many layers when you think about it. It's just like it's really deep. You just gotta
Listen, Fight Club was a good movie.
It was a good movie, but the people that love it, are,
Yeah, the people who are yes.
But dude, it's so deep when you think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
On the other end of the spectrum, next question. Limp Bizkit started their career by covering which George Michael song?
George Michael and not Wham.
George Michael. Well,
I'll lock in Careless Whisper. I don't know.
okay.
It's
This one threw me for a loop.
probably not Careless Whisper. Faith, Father Figure.
You had it on your first one. You should have
It was
gone.
Faith.
You got to have a faith, the faith, the faith.
You gotta have faith.
Wow, Limp Bizkit covered that?
Yeah,
That's
dude, I gotta
funny,
hear that.
dude.
Yeah, I gotta hear that shit too.
Okay, next question. Limp Bizkit's name was intended to be jarring and could have been more intentionally off-putting, such as which names? If you can get anywhere near either one of these, I just had to bring these up.
Well,
'cause
I
they're
think I said one like
wild.
a synonym for Limp Bizkit. Is that not Soggy Waffle? Is one of them?
Okay. Say a few. If you think.
These are even worse than Limp Bizkit?
Yes.
Cunt Bucket.
You're not far off with the vibe. You got any other thoughts, Joe?
I'm not saying any more words.
Cum Cookie.
Okay. You got any others?
Twat Waffle.
You guys are not far off. One was Dick Slit. And another was Blood Fart.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
actually.
pretty good.
I like
Dude, they
that
would not
one.
have made... They wouldn't have been on TRL once with the name Blood Fart.
Bloodhound Gang.
They weren't Blood Fart.
Yeah, but Bloodhound Gang, like all they had, they were literally songs about sex. They had the fucking
Yeah, but those songs were... They were, yeah, but they were, you know...
Baby.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought those were just too funny to pick.
That's pretty good, dude.
Okay. Last question. After a triumphant return recently, Limp Bizkit's new album just dropped on October 31st,
Did it really?
2021.
Yes.
That was 5 days ago.
5 days ago.
Shit.
What is the title of this album, Joe?
I know this, Joe.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No. Limp, back and limper than ever.
That's actually not bad. They should have gone with that
It
one.
is good, dude. Back
What
in
is
the
it?
So there's this drummer. There's this drummer that I follow on Instagram. He's one of my favorite dudes. Like, and he
Isn't it the drummer from Limp Bizkit?
no, yeah, it is. But he actually did a drum cover, and he was like, this is fucking crazy. This riff is the sickest riff right now, and like it's coming from Limp Bizkit. Like he's not like praising them, but he's like, this riff is cool. I mean, it's fucking new metal fucking riffs.
Sure.
They're fun to drum to if you're like trying to play hard. But I think the album is called Still Sucks or Still Sucking.
Limp Bizkit still sucks.
That's
Yes.
pretty
Still
good,
sucks.
actually.
Yeah. So Marino with 5 points.
Damn.
You know the most about
You, Fred Durst.
90s new wave, new metal,
New metal.
Congrats,
band
man.
Limp Bizkit.
Why am I embarrassed?
Is that a victory? You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for playing everyone's favorite nostalgic new metal bands
Trivia game.
game.
Thanks for having us.
Called,
That was great.
That was good.
Risk it for Limp Bizkit.
Risk it for Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. I actually have a segment for us guys.
What? Do you
I know
really?
we're running a little on time, but I figured whatever. Let's just. I had it. This one was too good to pass up this time. So back in episode, I think 3, we did Candyland.
Wrong.
Return of Revenge of the Sith.
What was it? Oh, episode 3. That's a good one, dude.
That is a good one.
No, it was episode 1.
was
We all
episode
know this. It was Candyland. It was our inaugural episode.
Yeah.
People still listening on the daily.
they are.
There was this fucking I think like in the beginning of the episode, one of you I
the
opened
end.
up and I brought up the fact that
It wasn't you. It was me.
it was at the end and it was Scott.
It was me, actually.
It was Joe.
me.
I think
I'm gonna retcon
Danielle
this.
burst into the door and brought up the fact
Yeah.
that they were going to make a Candyland movie
It's insane.
starring Adam Sandler.
A Candyman movie?
No, Candyland.
The Sandman himself.
The Sandman himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Hubie of Hubie Halloween. You guys see it? It's pretty good.
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my watch list. I put it on my Netflix.
I'm so pissed off that you haven't watched it, but that's a whole other podcast, honestly. Called Marino Hates Joe.
That just sounds like life.
I subscribe to that.
And they were going to make this movie, Candyland. Fucking wild, dude.
Wild.
Iconic game. They were going to make a movie. And of course, they were going to use Adam Sandler. Who else, and who better?
I can't think of anyone else.
So honestly, I was thinking like Risk is a pretty iconic game. If they were to make a Risk movie, and obviously they would choose Adam Sandler.
Yeah, of
who
course.
Else, who
Why
better?
not? Yeah.
Who else and who better is just kind of like the tagline of him.
Yeah.
What do you guys think that movie would be about?
Joe, you got any ideas?
I've got some ideas. Okay, so here's my thought.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler is in ancient China, right? He's a warlord.
Yeah.
And he comes across these 10 rings.
God. You just like put an image in my mind that
He's a white Jewish overlord in ancient China.
That's-
Keep
yeah,
going.
perfect.
He finds 10 rings and they give him powers, right? And he fucking conquers the globe, dude. And they make him immortal. He never ages.
and then his son battles them.
And his son
battles him
battles
for
it.
them, and then
And then fucking
Becomes an Avenger.
Benedict Wong says, hey, you're an Avenger now. Now
Yeah.
fucking the Eternals with Kumail and his square jaw.
Wow.
That's about it.
I think Adam Sandler Risk starring Adam Sandler is definitely it's a war movie, and all the characters and all of the people in the war are Adam Sandler. Like they CGI replicate him and
Like
everything.
Clump
It's just-
style?
Yeah, it's just thousands.
Oh, just that.
Like
he's like clones.
thousands of Adam Sandlers are
Yes.
just fighting each other to the death to determine
Both sides of each army are ball.
everyone is
You
Adam
know what?
Sandler.
Okay.
I think
And they all fight each
Ewan
other.
McGregor probably had something that he paid somebody a visit and
Oh,
right,
sure.
right.
There we go. I don't know what you're talking about, but anyway, Adam Sandler.
Attack of the Clones.
Oh, okay. Hello there. Yeah, Adam Sandler just finds out which is the best Adam Sandler and globally dominates.
Could you imagine an Adam Sandler like a battle royale Adam Sandler, or just 100 Adam Sandlers?
That's what I want to see. Yeah. Let's.
Fortnite needs to get on this.
Yes, I think so. That's pretty good.
So that's my idea. Marino, what about you?
I got nothing.
You son of a bitch.
Oh,
you
drawing
got
blanks.
Drawing-
Huh? You're shooting blanks again.
blanks. Well, that was this week's episode of Don't Wake Daddy. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at don'twakedaddypod@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Well, I guess on Instagram and Twitter, we're at Don't Wake Dad Pod, but on TikTok, we're Don't Wake Daddy Pod, I think. I need to fix that. Yeah, but that's tomorrow's work. Yeah. We also have a YouTube channel where you can find full episodes of our podcast, possibly more visual content. We also have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/don'twakedadpod. As of this record, maybe not necessarily as of this episode post, but as of this record, we have done one live stream where we played Clue, and that was a fun time. Yeah. We may play more games. Maybe we'll play Risk. Who knows?
Risk. That'd be fun.
Stay tuned to our social media. If we do decide to do that, we'll post a couple of days in advance, and it's a fun time just hanging out with the boys, playing, watching. It's kind of like a live Don't Wake Daddy pod. It's pretty fun, right? If you like what you heard, you can please subscribe, rate, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
If you leave us a 5-star review, hey, we might even read that, huh?
It doesn't matter if you say shit or piss or ass
or
on there.
If you say boobs, I'm reading that, dude. If you're saying boobs, I'm reading it.
Can I read it if it says boobs?
We can both read it at the same time.
At the same time?
Yeah,
Okay,
if
cool.
it says boobs. But I'm Joe Rodriguez.
I'm Scott Eichenberry.
And I'm Marino Alajakis.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.